If you want to know the best of the best spots to level up fast in the entire game, you are in the right place. I recently covered the best of the best spots of Endgame, but I went back to the drawing board and spent dozens of hours optimizing my top Endgame farming methods so I can give you the fastest and most efficient spots that will not waste your precious time. Following these methods will let you earn a crazy amount of 3.4 million to a mind-blowing 4.3 million of Red Mercury per hour for your leveling needs. Since this is a much more optimized version of my previous endgame farming guide, I have updated and standardized my build for all of the spots on this list. Having a character level of 100 to 110 is suggested, but most of you are already past level 130 at this point. Having 90% managed threshold is a must for you to have more damage multipliers and higher Red Mercury drop gains as usual. This video is more on the optimization side of all of the best endgame spots that I covered so far. But if you are more interested in other endgame spots that will help you gradually reach level 110 plus while progressing in the whole chapter 4 and 5 section of the game, I suggest checking my prior endgame farming spots in the description or by clicking the card here. I am showing the actual build on the screen right now, so I highly suggest following everything in here so you can replicate my results later on. This Feathering Samurai build was designed to burst down targets in seconds. However, you are always welcome to use your own build, but just expect that you will get different mileage in terms of Red Mercury gains per hour. What I want you to focus on is my suggested Jade pendants on the screen right now, since these pendants can increase your damage big time. And of course, depending on your build, yours will be different. But for my build, I am equipping the Coiled Dragon pendant, Kailin pendant, and the Triggerless pendant. And if I am fighting large enemies, then the Fiend Felling pendant will take the Triggerless pendant slot. I've also linked all of the item drop locations of all of the items that I use in this build, so be sure to check the description below for your convenience. I will quickly run over my repository skill tree upgrades, and if you follow my exact build, what I suggest is to focus on nodes that were upgraded multiple times, especially the Feather Stat node located in core skills. Showing my upgrades for the longsword tree to save both of our time. I am quickly running through them, so feel free to pause the video if you need to. The secondary weapon upgrade path will be on the one-handed swords because of the feather nose that can be added to your raw stats. If you follow the exact upgrade path that I have here, you will fully unlock 12 discipline skills, which will then unlock the additional damage bonus of Disciplinary Force Benediction Stones and their set effects, giving you more firepower to end your farming runs quicker. Speaking of Benediction Stones, I have only one other requirement other than the Disciplinary Force Stones, which is the Sheng Little Might Stone that will allow you to gain Skyborn Might charges after killing an enemy. Moving on to the actual spots, and the Underground Palace entrance is by far one of the earliest optimized spots that you can access when you reach endgame. This spot will allow you to farm helpless bow and feather type enemies since they are all in kneeling position while worshipping the boss in this area. These are almost elite type enemies that drops a lot of Red Mercury, which you can easily burst down with the right setup. They are cleverly placed on an ideal farming route near two shrines. The Palace Entrance Shrine is going to be our main starting point for this method. However, unlocking it is a little bit tricky, so I'll go over it quickly. You need to access the Tank's Palace first, and for you to do so, you need to start on the Ruined Shoe Sanctum spot, which you can miss by just progressing in Chapter 4. Starting from the Shoe Sanctum Shrine, access the upper floor and head outside, and immediately turn to your right when the path splits into two. You will be climbing a steep slope in here, and a human-type troll will throw a moving boulder at you. Past the troll, head to the right and access the wooden scaffolding that will lead you to the lower area, leading you to the entrance of the Ruined Tank's Palace shortcut. Access the gate and pass the palace courtyard, and access the red vine that will lead you to the main entrance of Tank's Palace. Since you will just be following a straightforward path starting from here without any possible detours, I will cut the run and fast forward it. Just follow the straightforward path that will eventually lead you to the Palace Pass Shrine. After the Palace Pass Shrine, you need to defeat the boss guarding the area right here, so you can proceed to the next one. After defeating the boss, proceed in the area and you will never get lost in here since the path is pretty straightforward. Then eventually, you will find the Palace Entrance Shrine, activate it, and proceed accordingly. Since we need to activate the shrine for this method to work, follow the straightforward path in here until you reach the long ladder leading to the Underground Palace. Head straight to the white area next to your location and you will soon engage the final boss of this area. Defeat the boss and activate the Bow Shrine checkpoint and you are good to go. To start the actual method, fast travel back to the palace entrance and start the method by killing the first 3 enemies near the shrine. Notice that I'm gaining Skyborn Might charges while killing the enemies, right? It is because the Sheng Little Might Benediction Stone is equipped, which I asked you to prepare in the farming build section of this guide. By now, you have seen me access the lower scaffolding and killed another set of weak enemies while I am on my way. Wait until you see the first huge bow enemy and start killing the first weak enemy near it first. Then temper your weapon and unload 2 weapon skills on the bow enemy and finish it with light attacks. Access the lower scaffolding and don't hit the nearby enemies for now, and instead access the ladder on the far end of the enemy line here. After taking the ladder, take out 3 weak enemies while you are traversing the straightforward path in here. Then unload 2 sets of weapon skills and light attacks to take out the Avian Hunter and unload your remaining charges on the purple bow enemy after the Avian Hunter. Backtrack to the ladder that you took to get here, and it is time to take out the enemies that we skipped. What you can do here is unload your gain charges on the Avian Hunter or do light attacks to gain more charges to take it out. The next step is starting from the small enemy first to gain more charges and unload your Skyborn Might charges on the purple enemy. Near the ladder, there are 3 weak enemies that you can take out as well. Head through the wall opening and access the lower part of the area. The last 2 enemies are here waiting for you, so take them out accordingly. Then access the bow shrine and invoke items so you can maintain the 90% madness threshold before resetting the run. Teleport back to the palace entrance to start the run again, rinse and repeat. Each run lasts around 2 minutes and 23 seconds with reset loading times included and gives you 43k raw red mercury per run and 3600 average gains from mercury item drop. Doing this method for an hour and we are looking at a more than 1.2 million red mercury gains per hour. Note that the mercury item Blood of Changhong gives you 8k XP per use and they do drop a lot in this method. My calculation was set to the lowest average, so you will be scoring way more than 1.2 million from this spot easily. If you are getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me a lot. Join our Discord server and help us build our gaming community, and I appreciate your support. There is no way that the ruined Reverend Temple spot will not make it to this list. This spot will allow you to farm fighting feathered enemies and human type enemies outside of Reverend Temple. We will be starting the actual method from the Reverend Temple Shrine, which is unmissable by just proceeding in the story. Start your actual method by following the stone staircase, then temper your weapon and start taking out the smaller feathered type enemies in here with light attacks. Then take out the first brawling set of enemies with 2 light attacks and then pull off a weapon skill. If you have remaining Skyborn Might charges, use it in the next group of enemies, then finish all targets with light attacks. Head to the next group from your location and start taking out the Crow Soldier first. Then the 2 feathered enemies with weapon skills if you have the charges. But if you don't have the charges, just do the usual 2 light attack and weapon skill combo. Then take out the human enemy first in the last group with our usual combo and do the same for the last crow enemy before heading back to the shrine to reset the run, rinse and repeat. This method usually takes around 1 minute and 5 seconds with reset loading times included. It gives you a whopping 24k worth of raw red mercury per run, while giving you an insane 3k worth of item drop average gains per run, giving you a total of 27k worth of red mercury per attempt. Do this consistently for an hour and we are looking at a more than 1.5 million red mercury gains per hour. If you don't like fighting huge enemies, this simply can be your top 1 spot in the game. This spot is simply amazing because of its great item drop rate overall, while giving you huge amount of raw red mercury per run. If you find the previous spot crazy, nothing else comes close in terms of red mercury gains per hour when doing the Forbidden Land spot, giving you a mind-blowing of 3.4 million to an out-of-this-world 4.3 million of red mercury gains per hour. This method will allow you to hunt giant fiends in a kneeling position, and it takes forever for them to be in a fighting position, giving you the chance to take this enemy down easily. Each of these fiends drops a whopping 24k of red mercury and has a chance to drop Blood of Wang Dis. Access this method by activating the Forbidden Land Shrine, which is the last shrine in the game and it is located just before the final battle's location. This method is pretty straightforward, which is a huge plus. Where you start from the actual shrine, approach the first giant feed near your location, and temper your weapon so we can nuke this enemy out. I usually pull off 7 light attacks, then dodge the fiend's attack to gain more Skyborn Might charges, then finish it off with 2 weapon skills and light attacks. There are a total of 4 giant fiends in here, so start on the one adjacent to the one you just took out and do the same process. Do the same thing on the other one, and finally, the same tactic will work on the 4th one, which is the last giant fiend in this area. After the 4th enemy hits the ground, use your feathered pearls to quickly reset your run and refresh your madness as well. Rinse and repeat. Taking 4 giant fiends usually takes around 1 minute and 24 seconds with this build and gives you a crazy amount of 96k of raw Red Mercury per run, while giving you 5k more average gains from item drops, giving you a total of 101k of XP per run. Do this consistently for an hour and we are looking at more than 4.2 million Red Mercury gains per hour. Note that these calculations only involves you getting 1 Blood of Wang Di per 2 runs. There were a lot of cases where I was scoring multiple Blood of Wang Dis in a single run. So you will be scoring way more than 4.3 million of Red Mercury per hour if you do this method correctly. But what if you don't have a lot of feather pearls? You are still expecting a mind-blowing 3.4 million plus worth of XP per hour even without feather pearls by just doing this method on a straightforward manner. On the other hand, if 4 giant fiends are too much for you, you are always welcome to just focus on the nearest giant fiend near the shrine and reset the run manually right away, just like what I suggested in my previous video. This will give you more than 1.9 million XP per hour, which is still a lot. Farm to your heart's content, and this is by far the best spot that can help you easily reach the level 290 cap in the game, especially if you do it in New Game Plus. But what if you just started your endgame progress and are looking for more endgame spots? Click on this video and I will catch you on the next one.